Why we are gathered here today. Blackened waters. How 75% of the Hopi's drinking water became contaminated, and what you can do to help. This is the land of the Hopi and Navajo in Arizona. It is a dry land with an annual rainfall under 10 inches per year. In this arid land, water is life and a precious resource. On the Hopi Reservation, all the drinking water comes from wells like this one. The active wells tap into an underground water source called an aquifer. The Navajo Aquifer, part of the Upper Colorado River Aquifer, is the main source of potable groundwater for the Hopi and Navajo tribes. They use this water for farming, livestock maintenance, as well as drinking, cooking, and washing. An aquifer is a geologic formation that contains sufficient saturated permeable material to yield significant quantities of water to wells and springs. A principal aquifer is defined as a regionally extensive aquifer or aquifer system that has the potential to be used as a source of potable drinking water. This map shows the principal aquifers of the United States. For perspective, the locator pin denotes the area of the Hopi and Navajo reservations. This aquifer, the source of water, is now polluted with hazardous levels of arsenic, uranium, and other toxic contaminants. How did this happen? To discover this source of toxins in the water, let's look at the history of mining at Black Mesa on the Hopi Reservation. From the air, Black Mesa looks like a huge hand. The Hopis refer to it as the guardian hand because it protects the water underneath. The Hopi villages are located on the tips of the mesa fingers, stretching south from the mine. The former coal mining areas are indicated by the red arrows. Since the mid-1960s, several areas above this aquifer at Black Mesa have been the site of strip mining for coal. The mine at Black Mesa was shut down in 2005. When the Black Mesa mine was operating, the coal would be loaded onto long conveyors. Giant metal rods swung back and forth like huge hammers, crushing it into a fine powder. It was then mixed 50-50 with the water, pumped from the aquifer to form a slurry. At the time, Peabody Energy, the company engaged in the strip mining, pumped on the average 3 million gallons of water from the aquifer every day to create this coal slurry at Black Mesa. From this Black Mesa mine, the slurry mixture was pumped 273 miles to the Mojave Power Plant generating station in Laughlin, Nevada, where it was dried and burned to create electricity for Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. This was the only coal slurry in the United States until the operation was terminated on December 31, 2005. It was the only coal mining facility to use the groundwater in this manner. Even though the mines are gone, the ghosts of the negligent mining practices remain in the contaminated water of the aquifer. Another coal strip mine was located near Kayenta in the Black Mesa area. Opened in 1973, the Kayenta mine was closed in 2019. The Kayenta mines did not use the slurry method, as the coal was crushed and shipped by rail to the Navajo Generating Power Station near Page, Arizona. Aquifer water was used in the mining process, water to minimize coal dust, and water in the containment ponds. These containment ponds at the Kayenta mine were ostensibly constructed to prevent the degradation of surface waters that ultimately found their way into the aquifer. During its operation, the mine pumped about 1.5 million cubic meters of groundwater per year. Unfortunately, these containment ponds were not properly lined, which led to the leaching of toxic chemicals into the groundwater. Among these contaminants are arsenic-3 and arsenic-5, both highly toxic, and vanadium and uranium. The presence of arsenic is a result of the mining and processing of the coal. So what is arsenic? For our purposes here, it's a compound that is the result of mining and smelting and industrial use. Also, arsenic in its inorganic form is considered to be cancer-causing. A lawsuit filed by the Hopi against the U.S. government cited arsenic levels more than 4 times the legal limit. Note on this graph, which spans 3 years of data, the maximum EPA regulatory levels versus the actual levels monitored at 2 wells on the Hopi Reservation. So here's the impact of drinking and using arsenic-tainted water. Potential health effects. So large doses of inorganic arsenic can cause symptoms ranging from nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea to dehydration and shock. The cancer risk is clearly unacceptable, said Eric Olson, Director of Health Services for the Natural Resources Defense Council and an expert on arsenic in drinking water. So the cancerous effects are skin, bladder, lung, kidney, nasal passages, liver, and prostate cancer. The Hopi also have an alarmingly high rate of asthma, diabetes, cancer, and birth defects, which makes them even more susceptible to COVID and other viral infections. You can't have good health without safe, clean drinking water. Where to turn for help? Peabody Mines declared bankruptcy and is now defunct. 2 new deeper water wells have been drilled on the Hopi land. The EPA awarded the tribe $6 million to drill these wells, which do reach a depth of 2,300 feet. At this level, the aquifer water is cleaner. However, the Hopi need $18 to $20 million more to complete the project, which they don't have, and the funds are not forthcoming from the federal government. Meanwhile, what can we do to help? Through the grassroots efforts of Airline Ambassadors International, Clean Water Foundation of Washington, Sedona Spotlight, Ernest Tahoe, who's our boots on the ground, volunteers, and your generous donations, we have been able to provide clean drinking water to over 350 homes on the Hopi Reservation. Water filters are purchased directly from the manufacturer, which are specifically designed to remove the toxic contaminants from the well water. It's a team effort, from shipping the water filters from the manufacturer, thanks, that's Leon McLaughlin, to picking up the shipments in Arizona. Thanks, Ernest. This is a quick little view of how fast and efficient Ernest is in loading the boxes into his van. Yes, it's a team effort. Delivering the filtration systems here to the Hopi Reservation, to installing the water filtration units in Hopi homes, and testing the quality of the water, to testing water quality at the wells and using mobile filtration devices. And here are a few of the happy, healthy recipients of water filter systems on the Hopi Reservation. So 350 installations is a drop in the bucket of what the Hopi and the Navajo need. Clean drinking water is a human right. For pennies a day, you can help us provide clean water to the Hopi and Navajo. Thank you.